Dig your hands into the dirt, feel the sun and watch it work. Seeds of joy in every row. Come on down, we'll show you how what's fresh and green is growing now. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows. Tomatoes ripe, peppers bright, tips for keeping blooms in sight. Let's make your backyard glow. Tools and plants, advice for free. Bob's is where you want to be. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.
Hi, John Morgan here, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, this week, you might notice that I'm coming to you at a different time. I've decided to push the live episode back by an hour to 2 p.m. Just to give me more time to prep the episode and get it ready. So, yeah, previously we were doing Tuesdays at 5 p.m., then we moved to Thursday at 1, and I just didn't have enough time, to get everything in the background up and ready, because I have to schedule it on YouTube, get it ready on the website, and there's a lot of background work that goes into getting the episode ready to go live. And, today, of all things, my computer decided that it needed to install updates right before I went live. So literally 2 minutes ago, I was logging back into the computer. But anyhow, you can find Bob's Live weekly at 2 p.m. here on Facebook, YouTube, X, and also over on Rumble. And then you can watch saved versions of it on YouTube. The Facebook version goes away after 30 days, but you can always find it on YouTube or on our website at bobsmarket.com/live. That's where you can find all of the previous episodes. And then we also have a Rumble account. So if you're over there, we kind of use it as a backup for our YouTube channel. But we also stream there simultaneously. So that's all the different ways that you can watch the show. And speaking of show, let's jump right into it. This morning, I headed down to one of our greenhouses where we have poinsettias. So last week, we were up at the greenhouse that's behind Dollar General, if you're familiar with the Mason area. Today, I was down in the greenhouse that is down behind Bob's house. So we're very original with names here at Bob's. It's the greenhouse that was originally, in the field behind his house. So we call it the field house. And, let's head down there and take a look at the poinsettias, because they're a little bit different than the ones that we've seen in the past. This morning, I am down here at our field house greenhouse, where we're growing a lot of our poinsettias that have different colors, different leaf shapes. So last week, I was up at the upper end of Mason in a larger greenhouse that has mostly just red poinsettias. But down in this greenhouse is where we have a lot of our different colors and variations of poinsettias. So I thought I would grab the camera and we'll take a closer look. So I'll start off right here with our tricolor mixed containers. So these have a white, red, and pink in each container. And then in this section, we just have pink poinsettias. So you get this beautiful kind of salmon pink color, as opposed to a white, which we have right here beside of it. So another variation is in the shape of the bracts. So in this style of poinsettia, the bracts form these smaller kind of crinkly leaves, and it looks almost like a rose blossom. And usually these have a name like winter rose or something like that. But yeah, it's just a very interesting variation on the shape of the upper part of the plant. We also have variations like this, where the bracts sort of have a variegation to them. So they're lighter on the outer edge of the leaf, and then more pink to red in the center. We also have varieties like these, where you have more of a full red, but it has this white speckling in it. And normally they're named something like peppermint, or something that kind of evokes that sort of image of red and white speckled Christmas candy. Here we have a variation on white, where the leaf shape has kind of these different points to it, which to me kind of makes it, I don't know, sort of reminiscent of the shape of a holly leaf. I'm not sure if that's what they're going for, but just the variation in leaf shape makes it interesting. And that's some of the great options beyond just regular old red that you have with poinsettias. And as always, for this and other great information, visit us online at bobsmarket.com. All right, so yeah, that was our part of our poinsettia crop, all the different color variations that we have. So down in that greenhouse, that's where we have like all the, I don't know, I call them weird stuff, but all of the unique poinsettia varieties. And yeah, I just had a great question from Alex over on YouTube. I've got the comments over here, so I have to look this way. But he said, hello, hi, and what beautiful greenhouse. What type of glass is it? So the greenhouse that I was in today has a double poly layer. So it's like a plastic film, but it's 2 layers thick, and then we actually pump air in between it, and that acts as insulation. The other greenhouse where we have most of our red poinsettias, that has a crystal clear tempered glass ceiling. So we have a few different greenhouse styles here at Bob's, and a few different types of roof structures, ranging from, you know, clear tempered glass to frosted glass, to some that are a double layer polycarbonate sheet that's kind of hard. And then we also have the polyfilm, which that's what a lot of our older greenhouse structures are made out of. And actually, that greenhouse that I was in today is one of the oldest greenhouses here at Bob's. I was looking down today, there's a section of concrete there that has the date that it was poured. It was like February of 1987, written in the concrete. But yeah, that is a bunch of different varieties when it comes to poinsettias. So, you know, you can pick out varieties to fit your decorating needs, and you don't have to be kind of kind of shoved into a corner with just red as your only option. There's a lot of different options to choose from today. And yeah, I thought it was great to share that. And we'll be looking a little bit more at poinsettias and poinsettia care as we get closer into Christmas. Up next, I thought we'd take a look at the weather because we have had some insane weather here this week. Right now, it's actually fairly nice out. It's almost 60 degrees outside compared to just a couple days ago when we had way more snow than what they were originally projecting. I remember when they said, oh, it's going to be a trace to a dusting. Barely noticeable. I think I ended up with, down at my house, down at Apple Grove, we had about 4 inches on the grass. Luckily, it didn't stick to roads or concrete. For the most part, I did hit a patch of ice on the way home on a bridge. But yeah, for the most part, we didn't really have ice to worry about on the highways. But yeah, we did end up with quite a bit more snow than what was expected. But if we take a look at the weather forecast, yeah, right now it's saying that it feels like it's 61 outside. It's 56, and the wind right now is 8 miles per hour. Looking outside, there's a flag right outside my window. Yeah, I would say it's a steady 8-ish miles an hour, kind of coming kind of from the east to the west. Looking at the temperatures in the area, we're mostly in the mid 50s. But yeah, looking ahead to this weekend, tomorrow we're going to be up around 63. The best day I think to get outside this weekend is going to be on Saturday. We're going to be pushing 68, so that's like shorts weather compared to what we've had. So it's going to be a great day to get outside and do some work. And also on Saturday, we're going to be having our mid-month episode of the Keep Growing podcast come out. So you can check out our podcast, the Keep Growing podcast. And this time of year, there's not a lot to be doing outside as far as gardening. So we're kind of covering all the gardening tasks at the beginning of the month, and then mid-month I'm releasing an episode that kind of drills down. So last month I talked about preparing your tools for winter, like sharpening your tools, getting power equipment like lawnmowers and stuff ready to store over the winter. This month I'm going to be talking about how to get your garden beds, your flower beds, and your landscape ready for winter. So things that you can do now to prepare it for later on in the springtime. So a little bit of effort now kind of really pays off in the spring. One of the big projects that I'll have coming up here in the next month or so is cleaning out my wildflower garden. Right now I have cosmos that are still blooming that are like 8 feet tall. So once they die back and dry out, I'm going to have to cut them down and get them ready to burn. And once I do that and I clear off the area, I can go in and already in the wintertime start seeding my spring wildflowers. So that's a project that we're going to have here in November going into December. Assuming that the weather holds out and I have some nice dry days to work on it. And, well, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. This time of year, we're going to have some pretty short episodes because, to be honest, there's not a lot going on in the greenhouse right now. And not a lot going on in our gardens outside. As we head into springtime and we start growing seedlings and transplanting and everything, we're going to really ramp up and start sharing a lot of behind the scenes content to give you an idea of the process that we go through from seed to seedling to transplant to full-size plant that you find in one of our stores. And well, that is all that I have for this week. So until next time, keep growing.
At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.